Ladies and gentlemen, the Adult Baby Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 152. I am B.
I'm Chic.
And I'm Chris.
Woo!
That might be the last live episode for a while.
It might be. We started the show, well, the
Chic
show's-
packing up a lung with his bullshit mask.
Yeah.
And
The show starts before we go on the air, I guess it is.
Yeah.
And we just, kind of railed on you for the last 15 minutes.
Oh, what a surprise.
no, but today was a good
B
one.
doesn't like my mask that
Today
I use.
was a good one.
And I just haven't had a voice. The throat and coughing thing is because I probably have throat cancer or something. that
All
I'm
right,
just
well-
choosing to not
So,
get
well,
looked
don't
at.
give me
Let's
the
hope.
throat cancer.
Let's hope it's not COVID. Because I don't want to.
It's not COVID. If it was COVID, then I've had it for 2 months.
Some people have.
Yeah. Now, the good thing is you can't catch throat cancer. So I think we'll be safe.
Yeah, you guys are clear in that aspect.
All right. Now I just know because I know you wear the gaiter, and I've heard bad things about the gaiter.
The gators don't really work.
At all.
So why wear them? And for a guy that's so
'Cause they don't-
Oh, here he goes. He's just coughing again.
I'm going to keep, dude, fucking...
I'm going to keep coughing. I'm
Yeah, he's going to bring it up every time I cough. This is going to be a very tough episode.
I had to I gave him masks today to
These
take
are
off.
nice.
You don't
masks.
need to. I love when you preempt it by saying I needed to give. I
I
have
do.
these masks.
Well, you're not wearing them.
Don't tell me what I wear,
see.
what I don't wear.
The other
You're
day,
not wearing it, though.
I don't wear it outside here. Coming here, I don't need to.
you don't wear it at work. The other day,
I have to wear a mask at work.
he sent us a picture for some reason of
Oh, my God. That was a nice fridge.
of a refrigerator with his product in it.
It was a nice fridge.
It was.
We had
did
no
it-
idea why
I
he sent it.
appreciated
Because
the
we put those
organization.
shelves up and then we made it nice.
You
and
know
I
what's
just
funny, though, about that? We were having a different conversation.
Yeah.
And then he sends
I
that
just
out of
throw it
nowhere
in there, yeah.
and
Confusion.
no context.
It was a picture of your company's products
Yeah.
in a refrigerator.
It was a freshly.
At like
Just
a
look at this
7-Eleven.
fridge. I was like opening my screen. I'm like,
thought
am I
something was
missing
gonna be
something?
Funny.
Nope, nothing funny. Just nicely placed product.
Right. Well, within that nicely placed product picture, I noticed that you were wearing that gaiter, and I started thinking,
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's wearing that out now because we're at an all-time high right now with things going on, and I worry a little bit about you.
There's nothing to worry about.
There's a lot to worry about, but
Sounds like a lot of people who get COVID.
yeah.
No,
There's
because I
nothing
am
to worry
very
about.
safe, and I'm not like someone who takes it not take it serious. I'm not really with people.
I understand that, and because my job, I'm not with people.
Like I don't have any interaction with anybody for more than 20
but you
seconds.
are in stores.
But the thing's
You
not
did
just
pose for a
sitting
picture
there.
with that guy.
Of
Yeah.
course,
Who was that
we were
guy?
socially distanced.
Is that like your buddy? You
That was the
visit him
guy that I
daily?
had to work with that day.
Okay.
All right. Well, speaking of COVID, I'm getting my vaccine.
Did you have a date?
I got a date,
When?
January 30th.
How did you
Nice.
get that so soon?
So I have a friend, my friend Jess. She's awesome. She's a nurse. I think she's a nurse. I don't know what the hell she does, but she's been on me with getting the vaccine.
Why has she been on you?
Because she's in the field and she knows me. She knows me, and she's been she's a good friend. She's been awesome.
I
And she
get it.
wa-
I'm not.
she's like
I'm
with
just
my-
curious why you that she's like pushing. Is it because she knows
Because
that
look
you?
at how fragile he is.
I know he just looks fragile.
Yeah, people want to keep me around. That's what it is. That's
Nobody's forcing me to get it. I asked my parents
Exactly.
today because I found out today that I was eligible for it.
It's your liability.
So I asked them what they think about me getting it, and they're like, "It's your decision."
You know what, Tom? No.
Yeah. You don't have to, Tom. Don't worry.
This one, yeah, she had found out she is actually working at the place that does it.
So she's gonna give it to you.
I hope so. I'd feel more
Do you?
comfortable. Yeah, I would. So
I would want that.
I gave her all my information and it opened up and she was able to do it for me. So
Did you book it today?
No, I booked it last week.
Oh, okay.
I
'Cause
know some people who can't get that shit. Until
I know a lot.
March.
I've heard of a
Not
lot of
easy.
people who can't. My parents had to book theirs for April.
Yeah.
I know people who've gotten it already. I know people who just signed on and got appointments. Somebody else I know just got one yesterday
Your
or
parents
today.
can't get it till April.
That's what happened when they went
yeah,
on.
no, a lot of people can't.
Dude, there's a-
April?
Yeah, oh,
yeah.
The fact that I'm getting it in January is very lucky.
Yeah, like what it should
And
be what B's
by
getting.
the way, that might not even happen. That
Why?
might not even happen.
Why?
Because
I thought once you booked, you booked.
No, because there was a lot of in Stony Brook where I'm getting it. There's been a lot of disasters where people.
Oh, okay.
there's
Which one are you
cancellations.
getting?
It's in Stony
The
Brook.
Moderna or the?
I don't know. I think
You didn't even know.
No, you don't book the shot. It's like whatever place has
Each
it.
place has a different one.
And whatever place you go to, that's the one you
That's
get.
the one you get.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. You don't like pick that, but
But when you go for number 2, you have to go to the same place.
yeah. From what I understand, you'll get like a card and they'll tell you a date. But then I'm hearing some people are even getting the vaccine and they couldn't
Get the
book
second
the
appointment?
second one.
I know people who got the number 1 but can't get number 2.
Yeah.
Well, the
So-
number 2 eventually, though, apparently it doesn't have to be done within a certain time.
No, you can get it months later.
You
and
can
it'll
get
be
it
great.
months later. It just you'll be working at like 50%,
Right.
something like that, of like a vaccination level. I don't know what that means.
I feel
but-
better with 50% than where I am right now.
I hear you.
But I will be honest, I'm terrified now, and I am going to call my doctor.
You better call your
I put a
doctor
call
and
into
ask
my
him.
doctor already, just to make sure I'm
should go
okay.
see him.
You should
Yeah, I'm
call
gonna
your
see him.
doctor for sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I feel like a phone call, the doctors never pay attention quite as much as if you're in person.
yeah, I know, but
And
it's
I'm not saying they don't. It's just a personal.
He's
about a
not a.
FaceTime?
He's not a general. He's a
I can deal with
nephrologist.
FaceTime.
Yeah, FaceTime would be nice.
FaceTime's not bad.
He's not just a. He's not my general doctor.
No, I know. You
He's
get what I'm
my-
saying, though. I want them to
I
look in
totally
my
get it.
face while they're telling me this.
yeah.
Like, I want to see their face, too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, get it. With their hand on,
I
like,
agree.
you know what I
agree.
mean? Like, tell me. I want to see
I
your whole
wanna s-
body when you tell me
I want to
should get it.
see if he smirks or he,
Yeah, exactly.
Got his fingers
I
crossed.
want to see
I
every.
want to see like even if he just like rubs
Even if his
chin.
face changes
Yeah.
anyway, like I just want to see their reaction when you ask them about it.
Listen, bottom line
Yeah,
is
take it
I'm either
with the wink.
It's either going to get canceled, it's going to be a nightmare, or I'm going to grow a tail. Something is going to happen, I'm sure. So
I really hope something doesn't.
I hope not either. But right
But
now,
if you had a tail, that might boost your career a
oh,
little
dude,
bit.
it
Start
would
doing
be good.
Anything
business.
other than death is good for the show.
Of course,
And like we always discuss, death is good. But with Chris leaving, death leaves just me.
death would be death to the show.
Death might
Death
be
would be
death
death
to
to
the
the
show.
show.
No, let's hope.
I
It's
mean,
not th-
I would do a show by myself. I don't know if our listeners
No one
would
wants
still
to hear
listen
that.
to me do
We'd
a
have
show.
to Zoom.
I would love. I would. Listen. I would be a big fan of watching you do a show by yourself. I've always said that.
It would just be
He'd just be arguing with himself for an hour
adult
and a half.
baby with chick.
Yeah, I think it would be a success. So, yeah, I this thing is on, right? Yeah. I saw it. I didn't see a light in the back.
Oh yeah, it's on.
So yeah, I
Got this.
I'm freaking.
Don't worry about the tech stuff. Chris has it.
Listen, I got a lot of things on my mind.
Oh, shut up.
So it's happening in like a little over a week or next week.
That's
a week
good.
and a
Well,
half.
I also don't think I should get it for numerous, like right away, because one, I think, yeah, I'm essential, but I'm not really. You know what
you're
I'm
not
saying?
essential.
No, I'm
You're
saying.
selling Red
I
Bulls.
understand that, but I'm saying it's technically beverage
know.
industry is like I know I'm not.
Even the people that you sell to aren't essential people in the
What
world.
supermarkets?
No,
No, I
the-
mean you need supermarkets.
Yeah,
not
gas
supermarkets,
stations.
The people that drink.
But here's the thing: you don't need Red Bull.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
these people need energy.
Dude,
It's the new
There's
coffee
other
of the
ways
world.
to get energy.
This is the coffee of today's
Good-
world, and that's a
get a
fact.
good night-
Oh my
sleep.
god.
But I understand the.
Do they
easy-
make you say that?
No, it's just a fact.
new coffee
Do you
of
not
the
see
world.
everybody drinking energy drinks, whether
I
it's
did
Red
a few
Bull or
years ago,
not?
not as much anymore.
I
Yeah.
think they are fading away because they're so not great for you, Sarjek.
No,
But,
you don't listen. I don't. It's not like it's a hidden.
But
Red Bull
coffee-
doesn't have to hide the fact. They don't falsely say it's healthy for you.
They do say it gives you wings though, which is bullshit. I've tried.
Hey,
Yeah.
wings could be interpreted in many different ways.
Yeah,
yeah, they can.
that's on the little sheet that they gave him.
But it's not going anywhere, and I don't even know how we got to it. But I know I'm not like technically essential, and I don't feel like I should even be one of the first to get it. So, but I'm also I don't want to be one of the first to get it. So I'm happily waiting patiently
Well,
to get it.
I will say this: you should
I'm gonna get it.
you
I'm
should
not,
get yourself on a list because there's
Even
a
if
chance.
it's April.
Well, I might do something like that, book it, and then no show it if I don't want to get it or whatever the the thing may be.
But make sure you cancel ahead of time because then it.
Well,
you
let's
know.
stop somebody else. I'm not an idiot. I get it.
But I'm just saying, like, if you can get on it, I got very lucky because I knew somebody here, I think. But if you can get on a list, like, it might take a few months. So you might
I
want
know.
to do it now
I guess.
because then, later on, I don't know. I think if you can get
I
it.
want to start seeing more people get the second round.
Okay, fair
and
enough.
then I'll be a
That's
little more
fair.
comfortable.
That's fair. I don't know anyone who got both rounds. Do you?
I thought it wasn't out long enough for anybody to get the second round because don't you have to wait a
you're
month?
right, yeah.
Sorry, this might actually be my doctor.
Really?
Hello?
Answer for the show.
Hello?
B just picked up a telemarketer calling in the middle of the show.
I've been waiting all day for
Pay
my...
attention to the time for
This
that.
is gonna
cut.
be my doctor.
Yeah, I've been waiting all day. Well, because it was in the same
Were you going to
town.
have the conversation on the show?
No,
Yeah,
please.
I-
no,
It
we're
would've
leaving
been-
this in.
It would have
That's
been
great.
so exhilarating.
I would have left it in.
This is
Depending on
great.
where it went.
And depending, I would have hoped she
Be
said,
good news.
even though I don't want to, she's going to be like, good news, you can get the vaccine.
But your kidney
Bad
is failing.
news, you need a third kidney.
Yeah. Your kidney's going to turn to liquid.
Put a sound effect like a wah wah wah.
This episode will be named B Gets Worst News of His Life.
Oh, man.
B gets vaccine but has bigger issues.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I guess he's not calling me back at this point. 7-something o'clock. But,
You know, that's not true. I feel like this is the time that doctors do call
Maybe-
back.
maybe he'll
because
catch
this
up.
is usually after
Maybe he'll-
hours there before they go home or whatever.
I hope so. I want a word from the doctor first.
I would
like a
hope he
word.
call you. I just want him to make you wait another night or two. So I hope he makes you wait a day or so before he calls back.
As long as he calls me back by the 30th. then-
So what are your initial? Are you nervous about getting it?
I'm just the unknown. I don't know.
Are you gonna video yourself getting it like
No.
a douchebag?
No.
And that's right. If you're listening and you videoed yourself getting the vaccine, you're a douchebag.
Who's videotaping? I haven't seen videos.
Exhausted. You're so angry about everything.
It takes up so much space in his head.
It's-
The anger. Of,
What do you mean I'm
You're
so angry?
dude, about the most random shit.
I just think that's so stupid. Nobody's taking it
If
because
you're listening and you videoed yourself getting the vaccine, you're a douchebag.
We got into this last week. You were
so
angry about.
angry, bro.
Well, he was angry about taking pictures last week
of what though? Taking
of
pictures.
the vaccine. Now it's videos.
Oh,
of
so
the
that's what I mean. Same thing.
Oh, okay.
All
All right.
all
Well, no, it's
encompassing.
evolved to videos now.
I know.
I don't even know if it's involved the videos.
Well, we-
I just don't want to see them.
We talked about it last week, and we decided that it's not so bad because maybe if it's somebody that you know, it helps them feel more.
You want to know what's
comfortable
funny?
getting
I
it.
was just about to say probably the polar opposite of what I said last week. Is I don't think anybody's going to take it because
You did say that last week.
I know, I
But then
did.
We
pulled me
worked it
back.
out,
See
and
how
we
my
pulled you
mind and
back
I go
in.
right back to the beginning.
That would
empty-
be adult baby with Chick, by the way. It would just be like
Running around in
"Chick says the
circles.
vaccines are stupid, but I can kind of see why people would do it.
and then it'll go
The
right.
next
back.
week it'll go right back.
It's like your mind is like a gravitron of emptiness. Just goes around in circles, and there's just hot air in there.
You know what's funny though? I completely disagree with people when they say that because I like to think this is going to be funny. I got to choose my words wisely because I almost said an intellect because I'm not an intellect,
No.
but
You
I
mean
do like to
intellectual?
use my brain and watch things that are like, brain twisters or make you think.
I'm an intellect
I
because
do
I like,
like to
brain
use my
busters.
brain.
That's just why I can't describe.
What are you talking about?
like
You like brain twisters?
just in general. I like to use it. Like
Is that like a certain strain of pot that you smoke? What are you talking about over there? He likes brain twisters. I'm an intellect. I like a good brain twister every now and again. You know what I'm saying. I'm an intellectualite.
It's like a tongue twister, but for the brain.
So what are you trying to get at? This is a brain twister right now. Listening to you explain is a
I
brain
feel
twister.
like I come off as a complete airhead, and I'm not. That's basically what I'm trying to get at.
Every airhead thinks they're
Yeah,
smarter
right.
than they are.
I'm not saying I'm this huge, smart fucking individual. I just don't think I'm as much of an airhead as I come off to be.
What do you think you are?
An intellectual.
You think you're an
I
intellect?
think I lean more towards intellectual than airhead.
Okay.
If it was a rating from
Jeez.
0 to 100, I'd be more like 51, 52 towards.
You think?
Yes, I do, Chris. Fuck you.
I think you're a guy that could be easily swayed.
I think you think so, and I'm not.
Yeah.
We've watched you sway yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's more me swaying myself, but like at
But-
the end of the day, I've done things knowing that they're not what they are, and just to do them anyway.
That's
Problem
not what an
is-
intellect would do.
No, but I also, this part of me likes to have a little fun.
I don't even know what that.
Because I know what you're talking about.
What am I
and-
talking about?
No.
Welcome
I'm not
to
talking
the
about what
adult
you're
baby's brain twister.
No. No, what
If
I'm
you
talking
can figure
about.
out what the fuck
So
Chick
explain
is
to
saying.
me what you're,
All
what
right,
you're
so
talking about.
last week, Chick gave us homework. Did you do your homework, Chris?
Of course not.
Do you remember what your homework
And you
was?
didn't finish it.
I finished the damn thing.
Did you finish
Can
it?
we talk?
We were supposed to watch
You were
something.
terrible at radio.
Because I know what the homework was to
What was the
watch
homework?
Who Killed Nicole,
Yes.
and I wanted you each to watch it, and I wanted any of our fans to listen.
Didn't
Who
do
listened
it.
to
I
watch
watched
it.
a different show though.
Out of all of the things that you have reviewed, this is the one thing that you're like, you need to watch that.
Can I tell you why? And
Please.
And I
I need to know. And
after
Chris,
talking to you for that brief the night that you were going to start it, and you bashed me for telling you to watch it, I thought about it, and I'm like, I should have prefaced that it wasn't exactly high budget documentary.
it is.
That it was more of a low end quality.
What, did someone
but
shoot it on an iPhone?
the
It would have been
quality
better.
wasn't great, but it was just more of the info at the when they really got down to it at the end. I almost should have said you should have just fast forwarded it until like the last 40 minutes.
That makes a good documentary.
So who killed Nicole?
Well-
B, I see that he has notes, so I want to.
All right, so this is what it is. After 20 years, some guy named Norm now is going to share his.
Don't just say so. Okay,
That's my
whatever.
thing with stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this has been reviewed more than any other case probably in history, right?
But you,
Well,
yes,
hold
but
on,
you
hold on,
don't
let me
think
just make
it's
my point.
impossible for there to ever be a blind bias when
Of
looking at
course
something.
there is, but
Okay.
this was
So like this has been reviewed more than any case in history, and then out of nowhere, this now
Norm.
low budget documentary.
Norm
It's not
comes
really
in.
out of nowhere.
This
No.
guy
Because
walks
people
up
have
and
been
he's
trying
like,
to say
I
these
know who
things.
did it.
It's not even okay. But anyway, I want to hear.
Norm, this is the thing. They start off the show. So when was Nicole and her friend killed? And Ron Goldman killed?
93,
94.
94, the Knicks championship.
So this guy Norm, when did he become friends with OJ?
I don't remember the year.
1999.
So
He's
you don't
talking
need
about
to
OJ.
be around
He's
before
talking about
it.
OJ like he's got. I've been around OJ. I know what. It's nonsense.
But okay,
And
I'm
here's
not
the other
saying
thing.
I'm not
so
claiming
5
that
years
this
later.
guy he was his best friend. But you don't need to be around. I get what you're saying with some of that home video he's talking. Like I'm not saying it was.
So this guy never met Nicole.
No.
But you don't need to meet her to know
No,
who
no,
killed
I'm
her.
just saying,
like
like-
that's kind of a ridiculous. So that's by saying that would be any detective or anybody who solves a case, a cold case, if they weren't around previous to it.
I get
Is
that.
this guy a detective though?
Yes,
He's not
a private investigator.
but wasn't he his like bodyguard or something like that?
He was a friend. He wasn't a bodyguard. He was a friend of his. He
I'm
just,
convinced my buddy OJ did not kill.
but he never. He didn't acquit him of anything. He didn't make him out to be like not guilty.
No, he didn't do that. But he.
So
had-
that's why
he
I'm
found
saying it
somebody
wasn't.
else
He found somebody else who did.
that he
All I
also
wanna
never
say,
met. in
but
his
my
life.
whole point, I'd have to listen back to our last episode, but I can pretty much say I never said, "Oh, this is the truth." It just it was
No.
It
You
was a
didn't say-
relatively
you didn't say
interesting
that.
point.
You didn't say
You
it
didn't
was-
say that, but you gave us homework, and when you
Because I
give
was
us
curious what other people
when
thought.
you give us homework, see, and what makes me think about why your head is an empty vessel is because this is something you latch onto. This anybody with a working brain would watch this and dismiss it. That's all I'm saying. It's easily dismissed.
It's
It
easily
starts off-
dismissed because, and I understand why, but sometimes I think just because you may think the guy's a clown, you can't. People dismiss a lot of things that they shouldn't dismiss.
I get it.
Well,
I
you
get
don't
that.
get it because you're that person who dismisses a lot of stuff right off the bat
I
before
did.
giving things.
You know
a
when I
chance.
dismissed it in the opening scene of the
Exactly.
documentary? It goes for the first time ever. It's like okay, all right.
That's
the
just a
first time.
selling
No, but they're
point.
trying
But
to
all
sell
things
a
do
gimmick,
that.
though.
It really is. You can tell exactly what he's doing.
Everybody tries to sell a gimmick.
And the other thing was this.
I mean, we're trying to sell a gimmick.
You're the only gimmick we're trying to
Yeah,
sell.
but
No,
we're
but
not
I mean,
trying
like, that's
to
what
say
you
we
do.
know who killed.
Do we
OJ's
ever say,
wife.
listen to our show? It's awful. You know what I mean?
I do.
Well, yeah, self-loathing B, but you know what I mean. You
No,
don't.
but we're not making a thing called "We Know Who Killed Nicole."
It was just
You
silly.
need,
and then,
you need
I-
clickbait
I
because it's not
figured
high
it
budget.
out.
dude, the whole thing was and then throughout the whole show, they did. This is the other thing that documenters do that drive me nuts.
So it's
They-
just another pet peeve of B that takes
Yes.
it and makes it not
Exactly.
Okay.
Hey, I'm giving my opinion on
I
it.
get it, and this is what I wanted, but you haven't even touched what I wanted to talk about yet.
Why are you touching your?
Yeah,
foot?
I don't like. What's
I
going
just
on
don't
with
have
your feet?
socks on. I'm sorry.
It's not even the summertime. He's got his feet out. So gross.
I was just doing what I would normally. You know what I mean?
It's just really close to me.
I get it.
So they do this thing throughout the documentary where they like. Have you ever seen like where they, like it's almost like ink is spreading through the film.
Yeah.
It's like, and they did that throughout the whole movie. Like
they did it
See,
too
like
much.
stupid stuff like that, I don't care.
I know you don't. It's obvious. And then they kept doing this where they would show like OJ's police when they arrested him. What is it called when they
mugshot?
The mugshot.
Mugshot, yeah.
So they would show that they must have showed his mugshot 79 times.
Can I tell you why though? Because it was a show that was
Because they had
originally
nothing
aired
to
on
show you.
TV. And you know how any documentary, and this I could vouch for more than you, when you watch a documentary that was made for TV, when they cut it up, some of them fail to move, especially a low budget one, fail to remove the cuts where they end and start. So they basically summarize.
That's a solid point. Okay.
They summarize the beginning of every take, so they regurgitate a lot of
Okay,
information.
that's a good point.
That is a
That
good point.
happens on a ton of
That was driving me
documentaries.
nuts.
And I get it. It bothers me too. I should have prefaced that it's, oh my God, the documentary, not necessarily the greatest.
Was it made for like PBS or something like that?
Probably worse. It was
sounds
probably
like-
like a true channel.
It was so
You know what
bad.
I'm saying,
I know
though?
what you're
Like,
talking about,
Those
yeah.
channels you're just scrolling through and you
Yeah.
see some low budget.
Nothing good ever.
I
on
get
this.
it. But
It's just-
it was just when he broke down his whole synopsis of what happened. There's like a 2-minute span where they go through the night.
Yes.
And where he actually breaks down what he thinks happens. And I just thought it was the first time I heard this theory.
Something clicked in you.
No, and I just thought it was very interesting, and I thought his thing was believable.
Okay.
I'm not saying it was the truth. I personally think OJ did do it. But there were certain things that even the defense brought up during the case that didn't make sense with evidence. I'm not saying that it exonerated him, but this puts a different spin on things that puts him there. It says he's guilty, but he wasn't the one who actually did it.
It was this other guy.
Yes.
It was the painter or something like that.
No, it wasn't the painter.
What
It
was he?
his-
A maintenance man?
It was like
a
one of his
pool boy.
It was something
It was
weird.
something ridiculous.
It was one of his friends, but he was like a guy to help him.
He was like a
He was
handyman.
he was like a tough guy for him to bring to try and shake down the drug dealers giving Nicole
Oh,
drugs.
okay. This is a guy that you bring in when you want to murder your wife and to scare
Well,
her.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not saying this guy was innocent, but I do think there was a lot of people said they thought there was more than one person there.
It's very possible.
possible.
It's very
That
possible.
that doesn't exonerate OJ.
I
in
never
any
said,
way.
but I
Yeah.
never
It doesn't
said it
exonerate.
did exonerate.
I-
I just said it was I was curious to
My-
see what people's thoughts
But you
of.
know what it
the-
is? Because they're like clickbait is it wasn't OJ.
Yeah, no,
But like
exactly.
even if it is his guy, it still kind of was OJ.
It was,
Yeah.
and that's why I was happy that at the end it didn't be like, oh, he wasn't even
No,
there.
I get that.
It didn't exonerate him.
And here's the other thing I'm going to say. I wasn't the whole. I focused too much on the other stuff.
And I care too little about that stuff.
Yes, and I think that's where we
we
come
clash
apart.
a lot, and I get it.
So to me, it was a long thing too. It was like almost.
It was
2
like an
hours.
hour and a half.
It was almost 2 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't
So,
short. It wasn't
and
that short.
I'm watching this thing, and it was so badly done, and which makes me just like
and
really.
I get it.
And it's a story that's been beat to death.
Exactly.
And
can I tell you that's why? Because those stories are beat to death. I feel like they do those cliche grabby head titles and like
guess,
they
but it's-
need something to get
Right, but
clickbait.
it's also
it's like the National Enquirer.
But did they give you
Yeah.
a new theory? Because
Yes.
everyone's always said that it could have been more than one person.
Yes,
So
it gives-
is it a new
they
theory
found a
then?
guy.
They found a guy. They put a name.
They found
and
a guy
face
that's
to the
already in
guy
jail.
who's admitted to doing it. The guy claims that he did it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. Listen, the guy who claimed to kill Hoffa, I don't believe.
Right.
Like I've seen things.
A lot of people in
Yeah,
jail.
a lot of people
You know what I'm
start
saying? A
with
lot
that.
of people say they've done things. So
Especially if they're already in for life. They're like,
I've seen
fuck it, I
so
was
much
also
on
the
it.
Zodiac
Yeah.
killer.
And I think because of maybe my partial obsession with crime cases and things, especially the OJ case, I'll watch anything on it.
I get it. Now, my biggest problem with this is I just wanted to come at you. I wouldn't have even. You
I
give me
was
some-
hard on it.
The fact that you gave us homework for the first time ever. You're like This is your homework.
Because
then I started watching this. I'm like, this is the one he picks. This is the awful
Hey,
documentary.
hit
he
or
picked.
miss, it gave us something to talk about tonight.
Yeah, but fine. But
I get it.
That's always his fallback. He gave us something to talk about.
Any content is good.
Anybody that's listening is like, why are they still talking about O.J. Simpson? You would think that this podcast came out in '94. The amount of times we have mentioned O.J. Simpson on this podcast.
Because this podcast falls victim to a lot of the things that I am interested in.
Oh, it does. It does fall victim.
Hey, I chose my words wisely there.
That's good. So yeah, guys, give that I recommend that people watch that because I want to hear other people's takes.
And I would love to hear other people.
And
But
maybe
now,
I'm wrong.
Now let me ask you, put all that stuff aside. Try and block it out.
Yeah,
What do you think?
it was compelling.
Was it not compelling?
But it was compelling to the point where there's another thing
You don't care either
That's
about
another
it,
thing. It was
and neither
so
do I.
long ago.
I don't care. I think the older the cold case, I think the more interesting they become.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like saying JFK. He was so long ago. I mean, I know it's the president, but OJ in a time of where media's like he was big. It's not like we're talking about
was a
some
president.
nobody. I know the president's bigger.
OJ was huge. It took up our life. Everybody's life back then.
That's what I'm saying. And
But-
for us, I mean, I remember every time I stayed home sick that year, I watched the OJ case. Yeah. So maybe it had too big of an effect on me.
It definitely had an effect on you, and it is interesting. But
Chick had a T-shirt. Sick for OJ.
Free the juice.
oh man, yeah. So I encourage people to watch it because I want to hear your takes.
That's what I said. I want people to watch it.
All right,
for
so
different
maybe
reasons,
it was good.
but-
Now, can we get into another thing? We're gonna be first of all, we have merch out now.
Yes, I
we
do
have
want to
merch.
talk about
We're
this
gonna talk
as well.
about merch because we're gonna actually after this is done, I have some ideas for merch that I want to put out that I like. So we're gonna get into that. We have a couple things coming up too, like so we're gonna try this new app, right? Do we want to start talking about
Yeah,
this?
so let's. So there's an app called the Stereo app that you can get on the Apple Store for free, and I'm sure Google and everything else too. And it's a live podcasting app. So in addition to the episode that you get every week from us here, we're gonna do a live episode on the Stereo app.
To give you more of us, and on this app, you will be able to interact with us while we're on the show.
Yeah.
That's why we want
Yes.
to do it.
So I want, if you guys want to start downloading that or whatever, just do the app. What do you? You don't have to sign
download
up
the
for
app.
anything, right?
I think you have to make.
There's
like,
no
a username.
subscription.
No, it's free.
Okay, it's
but
free.
you have to put your email in or something.
So get the
you
app.
need to have the app to listen to it.
Get the app. We're probably going to do it in a couple weeks.
And the app is called
The Stereo app.
the Stereo app.
Yeah.
We'll send out a.
I'll post it.
We'll
I'll
put it
post
up.
Yeah. So the more people that are, that we know that are on there, the better for us. So
And that episode, we're going to try and base it off of you guys. So the more people who come on, the more interaction we'll have.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the better it goes.
it'll be like a special episode. Is that what we're?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if
like
it
a
goes
special
well,
episode.
we plan on doing a lot more.
Yeah. All right. I'm excited about that. So listen, good things coming up here.
Yeah,
for the adult
2021,
babies.
and buy the merch. There's plenty of designs, color options when you go on the link. We will also, the link is in our IG profile. Go out
We
there.
got masks.
We got masks. We got tote
By the way,
bags.
I
got women's clothes. We got men's clothes. The only thing we're missing is baby clothes.
Yeah,
We
we should start
can
getting
do that.
baby.
We
clothes
should
out.
start.
that,
We got to
yeah.
put an infant onesie out there with us.
Can we get adult baby clothes?
We'll figure anything we can get out there. We're going to put on there.
I got a few texts when the merch was put out of the mask because it's the picture of you. It's like you're cut off. So I had people that never met you texting me like, "Is this what he really looks like?" So I
What
want
do I
to
look like, sloth? I didn't even pay
No,
attention
It's
to it.
nice to finally put a face to the name.
Yeah. No, it like your nose is cut. It looks like half of your face got stapled together.
You know what? I have zero faith in B. Like, I feel like people who listen to the show.
I have zero faith in B.
Wait, I'm gonna tell you why. In like anybody who asks B about me, like anybody who may listen that I don't know or doesn't really know me, who talks to B about the show, I have zero faith that B will ever make me look like they'll probably bash me and B will join in and he'd be the one to kick me while I'm down.
No.
Why do you think that?
I don't think
Because
so.
I don't think you'd ever.
You don't think I'm a loyal person?
No, I didn't say you weren't loyal. You'll lend me $100, but you'll berate me while you do it. Like my point
Exactly.
is, You
I
are
mean, isn't
loyal.
that the way to
As you
do it?
should.
No, and I'm not no, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think you're not loyal, but I don't think
So if
you'll happily put me down.
if what they're saying I agree with, of course.
I think even if you
But
didn't agree,
No,
you
no.
would.
No. And it's never in a it's.
And I don't think it's in terrible light. Like,
First of
I
all,
don't think it's ever.
I'm
like,
not getting constant texts about
I know.
you.
I didn't say it was constant. I didn't say it was constant.
We walk out.
Nobody's
this door,
texting
people
me.
like,
And
what's
and
it like
with
to
theories.
work with Chic?
Yeah, I've never gotten that.
Is he like that in real life? Or
But people do.
Hey, you know what? What you see is what you get.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
yeah, you might
I'm
get a
seeing-
better version.
If somebody ever texts me that doesn't know you, I'll say exactly what I would say in front of you.
Exactly, and it's never
And
positive.
I have a
like
lot.
I would, if I was ever talking about, like, nah, I love B's comedy. Like, you know, like I will.
I say the same thing about you.
No,
I
like,
love your
I
comedy.
feel like I would promote you, and you would just use me as the joke.
You're wrong. You're wrong. I use most things as a joke. First,
I
of all.
know, partially because that's your personality,
So-
and because I'm easy to.
Of course. So, but I don't get into deep discussions about you. Usually.
I don't think they're like these deep and often.
But
combos.
I have gotten some texts about you.
I know you have. That's
and,
why.
And I get. I wouldn't. I don't make you look bad. I don't make you look great. But
I
I don't,
know you don't make me look good. I'm not.
I'm just joking with you, man. I
No, you're not.
you are the heart and soul of this podcast.
I'm not asking you to try and make me
Listen
blush.
to me. Listen to me. Look me in my eyes. Chick, look at me in the eyes.
When people tell me to look them in the eyes, I don't get uncomfortable with things often. That's when I get uncomfortable, is when someone asks me to do it.
Why is that?
Why?
I don't know. It's a
His
weird
eyes
thing.
are barely
That's a weird
open.
Like,
thing.
I could look you in the eyes and talk a whole conversation.
Look me in the eyes.
moment you're like, look
Yeah.
me in the eyes. No, like he's doing, not just look me in the eyes. Like he's like that. It makes me uncomfortable almost. Maybe it's just
You
with
think
B.
he's trying to read your soul? Maybe.
I don't know.
You being
Look at me.
dishonest over there?
Go,
Look
B.
at me over here.
I'm looking.
I think that you are the heart and soul of this podcast. You bring so much joy to my life.
Yes.
You really do.
Because I'm a disaster.
Yes. You bring, like, even when you're a nightmare, like, it makes me feel better about myself.
Exactly. This is all yes, I get it.
But you're also one of the best friends I have in
I
life.
don't doubt our friendship.
Now, if somebody texts me and they're like, what's it like to work with Chick? I'm not going to say it's like a summer breeze.
It's not. I don't want you to. I don't
It's-
want to be a summer breeze.
I will say, you know, he could be
I'm
a
not
little.
a summer breeze.
I'm
I'm,
not
a
a-
winter storm.
I'm like Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Winter's coming, motherfucker.
You're like wet snow, wet dirty snow. That's what you are.
It's just annoying.
Yeah, it's like oh,
You
God,
wish
it's
for it, and then you get it, and it
Yeah.
sucks.
It's
Yeah.
not as good as you thought.
Yeah, yeah. We thought we were gonna
snow
have a
I
winter
wanted.
wonderland. Now we just have a muddy mess.
I'm like ordering out when you go there and eat, it's so much better, but when you bring it back home,
Oh,
it's
it's
just
never
not
the
as-
same.
It's just not that good.
But you are such a person for this. Like this show wouldn't work without
It
you.
wouldn't. It really wouldn't.
I guess this is
Somebody
a
asked me that
compliment.
recently. A comic asked me recently, like who, that show would that show work without you? Because they don't listen to the show. And I said honestly, it wouldn't work without Chick.
I don't buy that, but
I swear.
appreciate
I
it.
swear. No, because I think you're the one that this show is all about hearing. The first half hour we talked about your awful decisions in movies, in mask wear, in life in
Can
general.
I tell you one thing that I truly feel
Please.
is that the adult babies, like when we first did this, me and you both lived at home.
Yes.
As you progress and I stay just that even line that I'm on,
Right.
I'm the only adult baby left. Chris never really fit the mold.
No.
He's too young to be considered an adult baby. And he also has done more anyway. So besides that, even if
Chris
he was
has
still
seen more in his short life than you will ever see.
No, but what I'm saying is like if Chris did live home, it wouldn't be a big deal because he's still relatively young.
Because I'm not at an age where that's like a problem.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah.
exactly. So like, if he lived at home, he wouldn't fit the mold. The fact that he's younger and doesn't even live at home is just adds to the.
Yeah.
And then you're moving up, so
Yeah,
you're not
but I'm
necessarily
not
moving
really.
up. You're moving out.
I'm moving out. That's it. I'm just.
You make bread.
Yeah,
You do
dude.
adult-ish things.
If that's what you consider adultish.
Well, that's why I said adult-ish.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think we all play our part on this podcast.
I do love it. I'm
and
gonna
that's
miss
why
Chris
it's
when
great.
he's gone.
What?
I'm gonna miss Chris when he's gone.
Me too.
He's never gonna be gone.
I don't mean gone, but he's gonna be.
But not physically here.
He'll be not
I
physically
will
here,
miss.
few and far between with the episodes.
That we will miss, but we'll figure that out when it comes to that. Any word on your Serbian life that you're heading
Things
into?
are-
Somebody asked me why you were going to Serbia, and I told them it's just because that's all that's open.
That's
right?
all that's open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I was right.
So
Trying
no-
to get the Eastern Bloc before he goes to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
No new news on that, Chris?
No, just leaving the 13th.
Very exciting.
There's one thing I've been wanting to bring up, but we haven't had to, like, just for the episodes have been going, is I've recently, and I haven't done it in a few weeks. It happened before this January, and because of Christmas with COVID, I had to stay away a little. But I'm currently in the process of teaching my good friend of mine's 17-year-old son or 16-year-old son how to drive.
Oh, okay.
What do you guys think?
It's a little weird.
You've both been in the. Actually, I don't know if Chris has ever been in the car with me. Have you been in the car
Yeah, I've
with
been in
me?
the car with you.
Yeah.
He's a decent driver, I'd say. I feel. Well,
What are your thoughts about me
What-
teaching
this
someone
is-
how to drive?
Yeah. No, I actually think you'd be good at that. I'm pretty patient.
Oh, I'm almost too patient. I think is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
issue.
But why? If
Yeah.
I
What
can ask?
I question the parents.
Yeah.
No, okay. The one question is because I think the mother's too nervous to do it,
Okay.
and the father and the son, like, he tried to take him out and he made him pull over, and just parents.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier for me, and I have a good relationship with.
I think
him
that's
and
a
the
good.
family.
When my mom, the first time I went out before driver's ed or anything like that, my mom took me to the college down the block, and she wouldn't. She made before I did anything, she wouldn't let me put it in drive. Our first thing was neutral. She wouldn't let me do anything. I just rolled. Yeah. She's like,
Practice foot and brakes on neutral.
yeah. My mom was such a wreck with it, and then my dad had me drive to the Bronx when I was 16. Swear to God. My dad was he's like, you got to be aggressive, go through. And I drove through the Bronx, and then my mom was like, you can't get off neutral.
See,
So I think it's good to have somebody that's not a
well,
parent.
and that's why I think that's the other reason, because it's not like he doesn't get along with his parents. Like, he's a good kid, and they get along. It's not
Yeah.
like he doesn't have the relationship with them. It's just a matter of we want a third party too, I think.
I think that's
And
good.
I have a good relationship with him.
Yeah, you have a good relationship with him.
My issue
He trusts
now,
you.
is I'm thinking I need to be not like strict, but like, so the first time we go in the car, he's never driven or gotten in the car before. So I told him, I'm going to pick you up, and I'm going to take you to a parking lot, and we'll go in the parking lot. I had a plan the whole time.
Okay.
Get to his,
hot box in the car. And the
Yeah.
I got high before.
The way
There's
I
no
usually
way I'm
do
not
it.
smoking pot and getting in the car with a child. This is just not happening.
Yeah, that's exactly how to do it. You are responsible. What am I talking about?
But you know what? And I'll get to why me being high while driving isn't an issue. I will.
Are
I'll
you
circle
sure you
back.
wanna
I
get
will.
to that?
Yeah, I will
Okay,
circle back
all right.
to that. Next. So
What's your license plate number? Just
so I pull up in front of his house, and I already get out of my car. And this was during my softball game. It was the first time it was our championship, the first time we got to the game.
Oh, man. So you might have even spread the virus to him, too?
Hey, he could have. He was there.
Wait, so you made him drive you to your softball game?
So I always pick him up for the games
And
usually.
watch.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He was going to come. He comes. He's on the team.
Oh, okay.
He's the
Sorry.
young gun on our team. He's on our roster, and he plays. Bees, I think you were there when he played or
Yeah,
seen
I
him.
think so. Maybe.
That's quite the age gap.
You know what I love about it is his father obviously has been on the team for almost 20 years. When he was an infant and firstborn, he used to come to the games.
He was born into this team.
He was born into
He
this
was
team.
born
It's his
into that
birthright.
team, huh? All right.
And he's gotten old enough, and he's always came. Like there are other kids on the team. Fathers who have kids on the team who don't come as much.
Yeah.
He's always came. So now we got him on the roster. long story bearable. I take him in the car. I get out of the car, and I'm like, dude, you're driving to the – and he's telling me, no, Tom, no, I can't. I said, the only way to learn is to get thrown to the wolves.
I agree with that.
I do, and I do firmly
definitely.
agree with this. I probably should have took him in the parking lot first instead of main streets.
Oh, yeah, okay. I would have done the parking lot first.
Yeah.
He made it. We got there. Everything was fine. It was a little scary for me, but I realized I'm too relaxed. I think it was good for him.
You think that's because you're a little too high?
I think it's because I don't want to. I don't want to kill his confidence.
Right.
Like if you yell at him, you keep on acting like you're
Yeah,
nervous.
yeah.
He's gonna be nervous. Like my whole thing is, you show confidence, they'll show confidence.
It's almost like a dog. Like if you show you're not nervous,
and it's
then
your
they're
tone.
not nervous.
They always say with dogs, it's your tone, and I'm
Yeah.
not
But
comparing.
are you like correcting any mistakes?
Yes,
and stuff?
I'm
Okay.
correcting and
He's
saying
going
things.
through red lights down Carmen's Road. Like,
the
that's
kid's
cool,
just
man.
calm.
Sometimes I go through red lights, too.
So the way there, it was super slow. The way back, he got a little too comfortable, which I felt almost a pat on my own back because he was confident for the second ride, and he was petrified before it. But my thing was so we pull out. The first thing I did was, this is all I did to teach him. I said, there's your windshield wipers, turn signal, showed him how to move the car, park, neutral, all that. And then I told him, put your foot on the gas, put your foot on the brake. And all I had him do was go back and forth with his foot for like 30 seconds. I'm like, you comfortable? He's like, yeah. I said, all right, let's go.
That's not how they do it in driver's ed.
No. He almost sideswiped a whole row of cars. Oh. Now, I got through this moment. His father freaked out when he almost did this, stopped the car, and didn't let him drive the rest.
Yeah, because his father, it would be all on him.
Yes. Right.
You drop this kid off, and the fact that he sideswiped 8 cars.
What about
it's
my
not your
car? My new car.
You have to worry about that.
This
He's
was the
gotta worry
first
about
week
8
I had my
cars.
lease where I let him drive my new car.
Okay.
This kid drove my car with under 1,000 miles.
You have some decision-making issues.
Well, that's the only car I could drive. I probably should have told them
if
I'll
that
drive.
had gotten messed up, you'd be in a lot of shit.
No, you wouldn't. I've gotten
No,
into
you
an
just
accident.
you
Just
give
get
it to your
fixed.
parents.
You've got insurance. My parents will fix it.
Yeah. Just add it to the list.
Shut up.
See, his dad has real responsibilities, and he knows if he takes out a row of cars, that could severely destroy him. For
Well,
you, it's like, sorry, Mom, I messed
This
up
kid
again.
took out a side thing of cars. We drive faster. We pull over. I get behind the wheel. We don't tell the people whose cars we crushed, and I get my car fixed, and that's what happens.
All right, well, you
And
can
I
do it.
charge
Well,
his
that's
fa-
a good way to teach.
And I
him.
charge his
No.
father.
No.
Here's how you get away from an accident on a hit and run.
Also, while we're at it, here's how you don't smell like weed while you're in the car.
Yeah. Open your windows and drive real
Open your
fast.
windows and I get this spray. It's $20.
That's the other thing. I do guys smoke. I get to smoke a butt while he's driving.
It's nice. You can relax.
Yeah, relax. But so the first way, he almost
Until he
sideswipes all these
plows
cars.
into a Buick.
And then every time he makes a turn, he hugs the turn. Like he's not, that where you got to let the wheel
Because
kind of
nobody
glide
taught him how
into
to
it.
turn.
No, I'm saying, but I eventually told him like you got to let the wheel slide in your hand, like don't grip it where you're,
Right.
whatever. The way back, he ran a couple stop signs because he was getting a little too comfortable. So now that was my next thing though was how would you guys teach somebody, like any advice on how to?
You have to stop at stop signs.
Well, no, other
No,
than
I
teaching
did-
them
I
the
did,
rules,
no.
how do you teach somebody?
I actually helped my brother learn how to drive.
Oh, see, even better.
So, not from the very
Yeah.
not from the very beginning, but while he still had his permit, I was taking him up on the parkways,
All right, nice.
and there was one very close.
I'm nervous. See,
incident.
that's where I'm nervous. I am nowhere near a parkway.
And
with
he's
him
a great
yet.
driver now, but it was a very close incident, and we ended up having to pull off, just into the grass.
Just get off the
Just
fucking.
get off the
just
road.
Get off of the road.
Yeah, let's just stop.
And then I'm like, you drive later. And he's,
What happened? What did he?
so if you're coming south on the Wantagh,
He was going north.
from
He was supposed to go south. He was going.
from the northern
North.
state to go south on the Wantagh, there's like a ramp, but it ends pretty quickly,
Yeah.
and he just wasn't getting over.
I think
Merging
that's
is
part of the
difficult.
draw. Like, not your fault.
Oh, you have to learn.
But you have to learn how to do it. But I think as someone teaching somebody how to drive, you got to know which on ramps are good teaching on ramps because there are some.
There are
I'm
some.
Not
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
some are
There
better
are
than
some.
others.
I will say, had some time to get over.
I know. I believe
Yeah.
you.
He
I
had
believe
a
you.
lot of time to get over, but then didn't. And then, as people do, that one guy came up and sped right by, and he was just kind of. I told him to drive on the grass.
Yeah. All right, that makes
He
sense.
was shaking.
That's the thing, because they're nervous.
'Cause they're
and that's
nervous.
what gets you nervous,
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So
Because you know the person, you don't have any confidence in who's driving.
And the other people don't necessarily know it's a new driver.
No, they have
except,
no
Until they
idea.
pass. And
Until
then
they-
they're like, fuck,
yeah.
still pissed.
Yeah. It's merging is a difficult one. I
Merging's
remember
tough.
I remember trying to get on the
advanced.
135. I got on. My dad took me on. People were going and I freaked out and I just had to just get right off
But
again.
I think that's
Well,
all you should
135
teach.
has a small ramp.
I don't
too.
think
Very
there's enough
small, yeah.
teaching of merging. And I swear to God I don't. Because
Yeah, it's more-
it's not hard to drive straight on a highway.
because all the focus is
I also think people are assholes when you're trying to merge onto the
Yes.
parkway.
Can I tell you, I always think people are assholes, and then whenever I drive and I see somebody trying to come on, it's like, fuck this person.
No. But here's
So
the
I
problem.
get it, both.
I let off.
I
I'm
let
like, yeah,
people
go.
on, and
No.
some people I think are too ridiculous.
That's the thing.
Well,
You
okay,
can't.
some people are too ridiculous.
You have to maintain your speed.
yeah, if you once
the
you
people,
stop, I'm not stopping.
the people that you would think like people shouldn't slow up for the merge that are already driving.
No, but-
that screws up traffic behind them.
Yes, because when I'm trying to make my timing, I'm expecting you to drive.
Yep.
Once you start slowing up, then it gets backed up.
I think it's on the merger to merge in. If people are speeding by you, they
Figure it
can't
out.
stop.
They can't,
I don't think
nor
you should,
should
be
they.
going 65 though.
They should be going the speed
Yeah.
limit.
I think when a car sees you coming, that's what bothers me.
Speeding up, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
When somebody, like, you have the time to get in, and
Slowing down bothers me too, though. Slowing
it's a
down
fine-
messes up.
It's a fine line.
I don't think
traffic.
you should speed up though.
I think you should maintain a good speed, and just you have to cook it on there. I mean, you just have to turn.
I think you maintain speed.
But you ever see somebody who gets, and then once you're at a dead stop, it's near impossible to not
Then you
slow
can't.
up traffic.
And then you know what drives me even crazier? The people who merge from the middle to the right lane right before
Yeah, those
a
people.
merger.
Yeah, because then you almost kill somebody.
The other thing
'Cause
is,
that's
though,
tough to see no matter how
Yeah,
much
it's
you're paying
fucking
attention.
possible.
people don't realize if you step on your gas, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
People get too nervous of the speeding cars.
Yeah.
And like you can get through them.
Yeah.
You'll get right through. Nope, they're not gonna slam into you.
They don't want to crush. They don't want to crush their car.
People are too scared to merge.
Yeah.
That's
why I
drives me
think-
nuts. I drive all day, so I see these merging.
And that's why
it's a
now
nightmare.
that I'm on the roads all the time, there's like certain things that really aggravate me. But my whole thing about it was that they don't teach that stuff enough. Like when you took your driving test, how often do you have to parallel park?
It's parallel. They focus on parallel parking. I've parallel parked. I do it more now, but it's
I
not.
can parallel park fine, but it's still over. You don't. If you don't ever want to parallel park,
You could-
you could
You don't
survive.
have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could get away with it.
The parallel parking. I don't know what the focus. Was that when you took driver's ed? Was that like a
Yeah,
big
that
thing
was
too?
a big thing.
I
Because
feel
everybody
like it's
freaks
never
out.
gonna.
That's when you're gonna fail.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
is
'cause
a
if you hit the
parallel
curb, it's
park
over.
ever imminent where if you do screw up, like you're not slowing up traffic, you're not causing an accident?
Well, what I found, and you guys didn't have this when you took your test, the car that I took the test in had a backup camera.
Oh wow.
Oh,
And
that's
you're-
right. I didn't
And
know
you're
Yeah, that
not,
would've been a lot
you're not
different.
allowed to use it. But I'm like,
How do you
dude,
not
like,
use it?
you know, isn't this test a little outdated?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
But you know what? I agree. Is because you can't.
You should know how to.
You should
do
know
it
how to be able to do something
to get a
with it.
feel of
No,
it.
yeah, definitely.
I don't
the
think they want you to be
technology's there.
reliant on a camera.
No,
let's
but-
say it's
but-
snowing and you can't see out the camera.
But the technology's there.
there.
I know. I
It's not like
agree.
you're not going to
It's
use it.
literally in the car,
And it
that you're
beeps
taking
if
the
you're
test
close.
in. Yeah,
and it
it's
beep,
like-
beep, beep, beep. It gets the closer you get, the faster the beep.
That is silly.
Yeah, it's
That is silly.
I'm
I-
taking
When I
this
learned how to
test, and I'm
parallel
like,
park,
this is outdated.
It was you turn the wheel all the way. Once you and I still do it to this day, and I think that's why I like to think I'm a very good at parallel parking. But when I get to around the back of the back tire,
Chuck, are you
almost,
posturing to open up a driving school?
no,
I think he is.
that's when I start. Then you start to cut it back, and it's like
He's
perfect
got the same
distance.
technique as everybody else. For
Oh no,
parallel
I'm not
parking.
saying it's different than anybody else, but it's just I'm talking about the visual when I start my turn.
Right.
There's people I watched somebody try and parallel park the other day. It was embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, but like you said, you don't have to parallel park.
No, I get it.
Almost never.
But
I mean,
think
it makes it more
the
convenient.
whole point was I think like even when you take people on with driver's ed, they take you on a highway and all you're doing is going straight. Like you should be learning how to turn in and out of lanes. Like most accidents happen. I feel like on merges and turning lanes and shit like that. And I don't ever remember that stuff being in my driver's test. It was like, can you make a left turn? Yeah, I can make a left turn.
got that.
But I can't switch from the left lane to the right lane because I don't look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I think this is a good opportunity for you. Maybe you could be a driver's ed instructor.
I like my job right now, and
I know
have
you
one.
do, but somebody like you should always have a backup, if you know what I mean.
Just in case.
Maybe you look into that. Get certified. Not bad to be certified.
I don't want to. I enjoy teaching this kid because I love this kid. Other than that, I don't want to teach somebody.
Okay.
If I don't know you, I can care less about your driving.
Yeah. I got that.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to smoke while you're teaching.
Yeah,
somebody
that's
else,
true.
anyway.
That's true. You wouldn't be as relaxed as you would on these private.
You know what I also wanted to do? Did you guys ever see the movie License to Drive?
No.
Come on, B. This is an 80s classic.
I explain it to me. Maybe I've seen it.
But the whole thing's about getting his driving. He wants to pass his driver's test. He fails. It's Corey Helm. Wants to pass his driving
It
test.
sounds familiar. It
He
doesn't
fails
stick
it,
out though.
but winds up stealing his mom's car, and they go out for a whole night.
I think I have seen it.
Excellent movie.
I think I've seen it now, too.
The driving test he took, the guy just gets in the car and he has like a coffee filled to the top with no cap, and he just puts it on the dashboard, and he's like, if that spills, you fail. And like then they did the whole test. I mean, not real, but it was just funny. It always makes me think of that.
Yeah, no.
And you can get that kind of service at Chick's Driving School.
Oh man, I would love to
Take
see
your kids
it.
to Chick's driving school.
If
Would
I
you
had
trust
kids,
me teaching your niece?
I'd
Honestly.
rather teach my niece.
I'm not saying that you couldn't. If you were in California, would you trust me teaching your niece?
I'd rather you
More
didn't.
than rubber. More than rubber.
I
Have
think
you ever seen him drive?
I've been in the car with him. I don't know. Is he a bad driver?
Yes, he's terrible.
I
And I
feel
hope
like-
he listens.
This
And,
sounds like driving school
and
propaganda.
Liz is probably listening, and she knows it.
I think he's a good teacher, though.
I do think that. I mean,
I
it's
think
his
he's-
daughter. I would think. he
Yeah,
would be
no.
good.
So I would. No matter how bad of a driver, if he's
But
a
do you
bad
want
driver,
a bad driver teaching another person how to drive badly?
maybe because they know right and wrong. They know how to.
No, they know the wrong way, and that's what they're going to teach them.
They're not going to get high before they get in the car, though.
But is that an issue?
He might.
I mean,
Well, before I told you it came full circle. So now let's go to driver's ed when I learned how to drive.
Okay.
I was, for whatever reason, I never asked my parents, like, teach me how to drive. I was never that kid. I didn't care. So the first time I got behind the wheel was in driver's ed. And the only time I would drive with my parents is just on the way home from driver's ed. And I used to get baked during driver's ed.
Yeah.
Me and about 4 or 5 of my friends happen to take the summer driver's ed together. And what they do is everybody has a class, and they do the class session for at 45 minutes, and then you all go to your separate cars. So one of my buddies would pack his bowl during class.
And on the walk from the class
On
to
the
the
walk
car.
from the class to the car, we would dip out the side,
Jesus, man.
smoke a bowl between the 4 of us, and then all go to our cars and drive.
It's like that Method Man and Red Man thing. It's like if you take the test high, you'll pay. You study high,
Study
take
high,
the
you
test
pass
high.
high.
Yeah.
So like you learn how to drive being
High.
high.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
I just feel like it's natural.
do you think you would crash into a fire hydrant if you were completely sober?
feel
Stuff would be
like
coming at him too fast.
If I was sober, well, I shouldn't even. Sober's not the right word.
Whatever,
because
yeah.
that makes me seem like I'm just this intoxicated
you're
driver,
intoxicated.
and I'm
if
not.
you weren't under
And
the
I
influence
don't
of
smoke
pot.
during work, so I'm not driving around high during the day. Let's get this out
He
there.
really wanted to hit that one hard.
Is that
I
true?
don't smoke during work. You hear that, Chuck?
So,
But I
You
do
hear
have
that,
wings.
Mr. Red Bull?
but when I
am
do,
flying high.
I just I don't like. I like. It sounds so much worse. I just feel better when I'm a little high.
Right.
There's just I'm more comfortable.
No, I get it. But
No,
that's not
great.
the
It
question.
doesn't make
though.
it less.
But my point is, I don't think it doesn't impair my driving.
No, it's
at all.
crazy because when I did driver's ed, I would just get drunk before driver's ed.
But this
Yeah.
is,
And
can I
then-
tell you? So, and my next point is we had to do a report for driver's ed. Like everybody had to pick a topic and driving related and write a
Yeah.
report on it. So I did why alcohol is worse for you than THC while driving.
Okay.
And I actually like did
You did your research.
did
on
my
it.
research, and it's through like studies.
Through fact.
They find that people
I found through facts.
people who smoke weed were more cautious as driving.
I could see
I don't
that.
doubt that.
Driving drunk is like
It's like playing the lot. Like it's
Yeah,
just
that's bad.
It's not good.
it's gambling.
that's bad.
Driving high is probably not fantastic, though.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line, you should probably just
They said people tend to drive slower. Like it was like Tommy Boy.
What did you
Black
read?
Sheep.
HighPeopleDrive.com.
Yeah. I found here in High Times magazine that when you drive under the influence of marijuana, you're more safer. Because you don't pay attention to the outside world.
So
You're
I'd
more
like to hear
focused.
from everybody about how they think about pot and driving.
Yeah.
Because those commercials where the kids are in the drive-through and they're getting baked out of their minds and they're just laughing. One, they're obnoxiously laughing through the drive-through.
What's
Yeah.
so fucking funny?
And then they take out the kid riding his bike. Why is this kid riding his bike? Past the
I mean,
drive-
it's not
Yeah,
the
it's
kid's
kind of a-
fault.
no, but I'm saying. the
Nah,
whole-
you know, I blame the kid on that.
No, I don't blame the kid, but why is
Nah, it's like, come on, dude. Know that there's a drive-through. That always bothers me.
drive-through?
Okay, fair.
I wouldn't run
No,
out.
my point is little kids aren't riding their bikes on main roads. That
Little
age.
kids need to realize that you don't ride your bike through a drive-through where people are driving through.
Yeah.
Usually, even if you're completely unpotted up, unimpaired, when you first leave the
Potted up.
drive-through, you're going through your bags. You're not paying too much attention to what's in front of you.
Right.
So a kid running across a drive-through with his bike is a little dangerous, in my opinion.
I agree.
The
Yeah,
kid
but
needs to
what
learn
if
to
that's
look.
how you...
Well, then you shouldn't go that way.
Or learn how to stop and look.
For the kid,
Well, everybody, I guess, in this point.
I guess everybody's just got to pay a little more attention.
Everybody's just got to pay a little more attention. But no, they used to people smoking out their car. It's so smoky, nobody can see in it. But yeah, that's how people drive around.
Yeah.
And then they kill the kid driving and riding his bike in the drive-through. It's just like, I hated those commercials.
Did I ever tell you about the time I got pulled over and after I smoked out my car?
That's happened to me, but yeah, go for it.
Dude, this is years ago. It was my first car I had. Me and my friends smoked it out. Ridiculous. You know, closed windows and
We always used to do that. Why?
I don't know. You just
It
smoke
was just
it
this
out.
dumb
Like-
obsession to smoke it out. And
wanna
then watch the smoke pour out the window.
Yeah, exactly. So we found this dead end. We smoked it out. I dropped my friends off, and I was meeting another friend at the diner or something like that. So I'm driving down through Farmingdale somewhere, and I get pulled over. Now, my car reeks of pot, and I freak out. So I had the guy comes up. You remember back in the day that you used to have like a strip on the top of your window?
Yeah.
I had one of those that said like that Nissan was ridiculous.
No,
I
you
think I
didn't. One of
yeah.
those like
One of
racer
those is
stripe
like-
things.
Yeah.
Sport.
No, it was like it was
says
it was on the front
GT.
the
Oh, it was like one of those things.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And you had to keep it like at a certain length apparently. So guy pulls me over and I start freaking out. When I get like nervous, I start talking more.
No.
So I start talking to the cop and I'm like, "Let me ask you a question. Is this legal, this strip here?"
Just
So
trying to point out the illegal things.
yes.
In his car.
And now the cop reaches his head inside of my car. He's like, "Oh, it's got to be this amount." And then he goes, he's like, "Can I get license and registration?" And I'm so high and so confused that I can't. I'm like, "Oh no, I don't have my wallet." So I'm like, I must have left my wallet. I don't know what happened. Guy goes back to write me a ticket. As I'm waiting for him to write a ticket, I feel my wallet in my back pocket. I was sitting on my wallet the whole time. But then it's too late. You can't like tell the cop like, "I'm sorry, I was really high and I didn't feel my wallet in my back pocket." So I had to get a ticket for not having my license while I had my license clearly on.
Oh, that's great. I've gotten I've
still
gotten
got away
pulled
with it.
over. Me and my
Got a
friend
ticket.
were driving down like a side block once, and we were literally approaching a stop sign, so we were going like 3 miles an hour, and the cop car was turning to the point where she pulled up next to us, the cop, and was like, "Can you guys pull over?" Just kind of heckled through our window, and we were like, "All right." I had a fucking whole thing of weed that I was rolling up, straight panic mode.
Jesus.
I've been pulled over while smoking so many
What
times.
did you do with the weed?
That time, we just hit it and hope they don't ask where it is. They don't throw it or anything. I'm not.
You kept it?
We need to smoke that after.
Yeah.
So
Gonna need to handle that stress.
Yeah, right. Oh man.
yeah,
those-
I just I've been pulled over a lot in my day.
Yeah,
It's
no,
never
no.
fun. I tried getting away from the cop, but not get when you're not really going you're not really running from them,
but you're not stopping.
but you're like going through stop signs, making turns just to try and
Yes, of
lose them.
course.
I tried to do that when I blatantly blew a stop. You know when you blatantly blow a stop sign?
Before they put the lights on, you
And I
mean?
look to the right and I see that there's a cop there, and I just know I'm getting pulled
Yeah.
over. So I just peel it out, make a left, right, trying to do all these. But in the back streets where I was, there's not many places you can go, and all the blocks run. It's like a
Yeah,
grid.
eventually you're gonna get caught.
I got nailed at Motor Avenue, and it was the light by Dairy Bar. It was a stop sign by Dairy Barn
Yeah.
on Forward. I got pulled over by Motor Avenue and by Main Street. And the cop goes, "Why are you trying to run away?" I was like, No, I was just going to get a haircut.
Sorry, sir.
I said I was just trying to get a haircut. And he's like, "Oh, that way? Like that's how you took to get a haircut?"
I'm too high. I can't even. I didn't even know you were behind me. I once got. I get pulled over with my friend one time. My friend is racing in this car, and it was like a crazy color. Like it was
Type R yellow.
Like you-
Type
yeah, it was
R.
like-
You
yeah,
knew you were
exactly.
getting pulled
I was
over.
in that same yellow Type R when he first got it,
Yeah.
and we decided to go by Massapequa because they had all the cute girls, and they always used to be out there. And he stalled about 6 times in front of the
That's
thing
embarrassing.
where we were like, "Never coming back here. I'll never be in this car with you again because you don't know how to drive it."
I'm with this guy, and back then you used to race. Like we used to
Yeah,
race.
go down
Ridiculous.
DPA.
Yeah, so I'm with him.
Really?
Yeah,
Jeez.
Kids loved cars back, and they thought it was too Fast and Furious.
yeah. It was the early 2000s.
It was when that first came out.
So this kid takes off. Cop comes and pulls us over. He's not wearing a seatbelt.
of course not.
And the cop goes, "Why are you not wearing a seatbelt?" He goes, "I'm sorry, it hurts my neck." It was like a terrible excuse. "I'm sorry, sir, it hurts my neck." And then the cop basically looked at him like, you're an idiot. And walked around to me, and he goes, "I don't even care about this guy because he's a moron. I'm more pissed at you. Why would you get in the car with this moron?" He called him a moron. And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I don't know." Oh,
I
God.
ran a light once and almost hit a cop. And the cop pulled me over. I mean, it was raining out, right? And I'm cruising down Hempstead Turnpike, going way faster than I should. And I have a car full of kids drinking in it. Coming up, the light turns yellow, and I speed up. Then the light turns red. So I thought for a second to hit my brake.
Yeah.
Realized this isn't working, and I dart through the light. I also almost turned back. Like I almost hit the cop. Just a sparked cop at a red light. I almost creamed him.
That would have been bad.
He pulled me over because as soon as I got past him, I just darted into the 7-Eleven because I was scared shitless. He pulled me over, and not, at this point I was already pulled over, but I've never gotten verbally assaulted by a cop like I did this guy. And then one of my friends, he goes, "You get in the car with this guy?" He goes, "Yeah, that's my friend. I trust him." He goes, "You want him to kill you?"
That's
And
what
like,
they-
you know what they flip it on him like you're an even bigger idiot.
That's what they
for
do.
trusting this idiot.
Cops will go after the friend. I've been the
Yeah.
friend many times.
That's
They-
pretty funny,
They
man.
they dress you down just for even being with this
And then
idiot.
their way to get to you is they make your friend feel like an asshole for hanging out with you
Exactly.
because you're such a piece of
Classic
shit.
cop move. They must teach that. Like,
That's
early
got
on.
to be in the manual.
yeah. Like berate him, but leave him alone. Berate his friend for even hanging out with this guy. Oh man,
That's how you get a twofer.
so many awful stories of that.
Yeah, those are that's all I got with pullover stories.
Thanks for summing that up.
Thanks.
No,
I see you grabbing your phone. You have any pics for us?
no,
this
I
week?
don't
Did
have
you get a
anything.
text?
I do have pics though. I have not gotten a text yet. Fucking pics. So I have very good picks in my mind this week, and they're all rentals. I actually went out and had
You
to
spent a little money this
I
week.
had to spend a little
All
money.
rentals?
Yeah, well, I think they all are. I'm not positive. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they all are.
Oh, look, you already made the graphic.
I did. I figured it's easier to do it this way. So the first one, I hate when you look at me like that. It's
I'm looking
American Skin, brand
Okay.
new. It's at first I thought it was Spike Lee. It's Spike Lee Presentation, so I think it's like one of his little proteges, I guess.
Gotcha.
And it's about a family who has a like a kid gets killed in a with a cop incident where he gets pulled over, and it's about the father. What?
We're just talking about
talking
all
about
this-
that.
What?
This is where I'm saying his brain is empty. He doesn't realize we were just talking about cops.
Yeah,
and
I know
pulling
we were
over.
just talking about it. Not this though.
I know, but we're just laughing at
yeah,
the
no.
coincidence. My God, go on. What?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
So anyway, the father winds up trying to get some revenge and justice for his son, but he goes about it in a little crazy way. It's called American Skin. I rented it on Apple TV,
Okay.
and it was very good. Yeah, it's a little cliche with everything's going on. It's like a typical movie that would come out now, but I still thought it was very good nonetheless. This other one, you
Sound
got
like a glaring review.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
it's a little cliche. It's like everything else you've seen recently.
no, I
but-
mean like
He's answering his own questions about negative comments.
this next one. You guys listen to Rogan? Did you
Yeah.
guys listen to the guy? Because that's why I rented this documentary. He just had him on recently about the whale, the walrus, and the whistleblower with Marine
Oh,
Land.
I did.
Okay,
listen to
yeah.
that,
I
It was a
listened
good
to
episode.
Phil Demers.
Phil Demers, yes, very good episode. He has this documentary that he was promoting on the show, The Walrus and the Whistleblower.
This stuff makes me sad, man.
It is very sad. He was basically the main vet who took, well, not even a vet, but like the main keeper of this walrus, a few other walruses in Marine Land in Canada. And the way they treated all their animals there, it was like atrocious.
Yeah.
So he winds up obviously blowing the whistle on them, and it's just about his fight with Marine Land that's been going on forever, to where he's not even allowed on
And
the
there's like
premise anymore.
there's like a few marine lands. Are they one of those?
Well, I don't know if there's a few marine
I
lands,
don't-
but it's the same thing as like the Sea
Like
Worlds
SeaWorld,
and all
yeah.
that. The guy who owns it's a real douchebag. But this guy develops what they call it imprinting, where most animals, their mother imprints on them, they call it, where they know it's their mother through smells and other senses. And it was like a miraculous thing that he was able to do that with this walrus, where the walrus looked at him like it's the walrus's mother. And it's just a really cool story.
Okay.
It's not as, I mean, it's sad, but the way they do the documentary, it's more about his fight with them. So it's not like they're harping on just showing you awful footage.
I have a
Right.
hard time watching that.
I
That's
think
what I was saying.
there was a documentary before that, right? That went into
He
more.
said
of the,
this was the newest one.
Yeah, I think there's one before it also that goes into more of the sad stuff.
Because this has been going on for years. This
Yeah.
was more about the fight that he's putting up with Marine World to get this walrus safe.
Right. Okay.
I think there was one where
and
they put
has
Marine
he
Land.
found the walrus?
He knows where the walrus is.
but he doesn't
Well,
know if it's alive or
allegedly he
dead.
knows where the walrus is.
Well, the thing is, they used to give him updates, and now he hasn't gotten any in a really long time. And even on the Rogan show, he was talking about how he hasn't heard anything. He said, like, through information.
Is that maybe because he put a documentary about
No,
them?
because they were still. He thinks it might be the walrus might have died, or it
Yeah.
might be because of this shit. But it's been going on for years, and they
Sure,
always.
it didn't help him.
There were people
Yeah.
who were in the park still who feed him information about it.
Gotcha.
Like, people who just tell him, just check,
Okay.
check-ins. Really interesting movie though, documentary. I started with the Rogan, and I was like, fuck it, I'll watch it, and I thought it was good. My voice is starting to go now, boys.
Where
Starting?
But I mean, like as the shows go on, it drastically gets worse when I talk for a while.
Well, yeah. Because
This
you don't
next
stop
one-
talking.
This next one was in light of Martin Luther King Day
Yes.
that just passed yesterday, or yes. It's called MLK/FBI. Brand new documentary about J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI's investigation of Martin Luther King throughout his whole activist career, basically.
Okay.
all right.
And
And what's that on?
this is another one I had to pay for it. I got it on Apple.
All right.
The Walrus and the Whistleblower, I believe, is on Amazon and Apple TV. You could all these renting things.
They're all rentals.
They're all pretty much. You can go to Apple and Amazon and find both of them.
I watched last night one of your picks from last week, One Night in Miami. Very good.
Did you like it?
I really liked
I
it.
love that.
Thought it was
movie.
fantastic.
The guy who played Sam Cooke and Jim Brown in that.
They all
No. Sam Cooke and Jim Brown were amazingly casted. The guy who played Sam Cooke sounded like it was crazy.
Yeah, he's the guy from Hamilton.
After watching Denzel play Malcolm X, I can't watch anybody else play
This
Malcolm
guy was
X.
pretty good though.
He was like, listen, I thought the movie was great. I did not love the casting. When you have all these documentaries that come out and you've seen people play Malcolm X and you've seen people play Muhammad Ali, Will Smith. Like I can't see anybody else other than Will Smith.
I thought he was a great Muhammad Ali. I really.
I thought the Muhammad Ali guy was much worse than Malcolm X. Malcolm X wasn't terrible.
Really.
Yeah, I thought the guy who played Muhammad Ali.
I think
I'm
he
not
had
saying he was a bad actor.
I think he got the voice down. It was.
I think
really
that's
good.
all he got down. Like I don't think anything else
You can't
he really
change
got.
it. I
Listen,
don't know.
I get it.
I thought it was real. I thought everybody.
I think
there was
people
very
like
good.
that who've been so recorded and like they're tough to
Oh
really
yeah,
get
it's
down.
very difficult. Very difficult.
So, but I like the Sam Cooke guy. I mean, the guy looked like him. He sounded like him. He sung.
Sam
like,
Cooke was great.
the guy nailed Sam.
Leslie
Cooke.
Odom,
Yeah.
Jr. I think.
Love, and I love Sam Cooke, but so
One other thing before we get out of here.
I have one last.
Oh, go on.
Sorry, I know I usually
4
do
picks
3.
this week.
This other one's called Freaky.
Freaky.
It's with Vince Vaughn. It's
By the way, you have 3 picks. Don't be giving us a 4th. Every
I've
week.
done 4 numerous times.
I know, and
It's getting to be a little much.
What are you doing? Come on.
You're using your 4th as a Vince Vaughn pick.
Yeah.
We
what
already
is
know
this?
what the movie's about.
What's
Yeah,
the
we
movie
know.
about?
So
He's sort of
this
this
is-
apathetic guy, and
No.
No, this is like a new Freaky Friday where he's in somebody else's body, right?
Kind of.
oh god, really?
Kind of. It's hysterical. I didn't think I was gonna like
It's
it.
actually called Freaky Tuesday.
I honestly did not think I was gonna like it, and my buddy was like, "Dude, watch it. It's funny," and it was good.
Is
I'll
Vince
just say
Vaughn
that.
the same character he is in every movie?
Vince Vaughn?
Yeah.
No, he's not. Not at all.
But he's also in another body playing Vince Vaughn.
No, he's not. So shut up.
So that's all you have to say? That's what you did with your 4th pick?
I was going to explain more, but you guys, I wanted to cut it short. You guys try and make me uncomfortable as possible with when I'm doing my picks.
Because eventually this
First
show
of all,
is just going to be listening to your
didn't
picks.
explain the MLK one, which sounded great.
Yes,
you
I
skipped
did.
right over to
Go on.
Because B's cutting me off. I
You
see him. He
skipped
wants
right
to leave.
over to Vince Vaughn.
wanna
and
leave.
It's
Freaky
about J.
Friday.
Edgar Hoover's. The FBI investigated MLK because they thought he was this huge threat.
J. Edgar Hoover and MLK switch bodies, and they called it Wacky
This is why
Wednesday.
I don't go into it.
All right, sorry.
So he's investigating him, saying he's like.
Is it a documentary though?
Yes. I'm done.
I wanted to mention another film, though. Or it was a series that I texted you, The Night Stalker.
I already saw that.
I
was
thought
it
I was
good?
hoping it would be a pick because I thought that
was
was
a pick.
fantastic.
You know what I didn't like? That was one of your picks. The Ripper. Couldn't
You
get
didn't like
into
it?
Ah, just
What was the Ripper?
couldn't get into
Can I tell you, a lot of people have tough times with those English ones.
Yeah,
Oh.
just something
It's
about
just
it.
that something about
that-
the whole
that's
thing.
right.
It's
Moved a little
different.
slow.
They all move slow.
Yeah.
I agree.
I couldn't get through the Ripper, but I loved The Night Stalker. If that's a new one on Netflix, I thought that was
Wait,
fantastic.
One Night in Miami was my pick last week.
Yeah,
You sure about that, or are you blowing
I
up one of my
think
picks?
We talked about it on.
maybe we talked
We-
about it.
yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
one of my picks.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had lined up picks.
I do because I know when I give them, and I had that, and I didn't do it.
All right, sorry.
ruined, B.
How many do you have?
Well, now
in the shoot?
that's not
now I
five,
have
but
one less.
Good. So maybe next week you can only do 3.
I might as well. Nobody's gonna know at One Night in Miami that you mentioned because you.
You're
can't-
right.
You never take it when you fuck up about something that we didn't even talk about on the show.
Hey,
But that's
listen,
okay when you do
it
it. You
is
call
okay.
my head's mush.
It is okay. My head is
You
not
and your
mush.
fucking broken back.
Night Stalker though, wasn't it fantastic?
Fantastic.
I wanted to ask you one thing. Did anything stick out in Night Stalker to you that might stick out to me? Something in there that the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, he murdered somebody. Did you find anybody that he murdered a little strange?
No,
Nobody.
nobody.
All right. So the last person that he murdered was Peter Pan.
That was their name.
How did you not know that?
No.
I'm watching this. I'm like, I know.
He killed so many people.
Yeah, but they did a profile on every
And
one.
Peter Pan, apparently.
It runs across the screen. Peter Pan, 66.
I didn't even realize that.
That blows my mind. I knew. What are you watching?
I can tell you everything about that. I just forgot the the victim's
Except
name.
for that he killed Peter
I don't.
Pan,
I couldn't
bro.
name one victim in that movie.
Who? Mickey
I
Mouse?
couldn't name one victim.
Oh, you couldn't.
Yes, I couldn't.
But it's just again something like that pops out on the screen to me, and for you, it just you don't even realize. Oh, the last guy, and they talked about it. Peter Pan was the last guy he murdered.
Who cares what the guy's name is?
All right.
I mean, that's funny.
It's just,
I guess.
it's crazy that you just don't pick up on things. And I knew he wouldn't. That's why I wanted to bring up the Night Stalker. because I knew he wouldn't realize
How
that
much did he look just like the picture? Like the sketch of
he
him?
looked just like this.
Like for a sketch based off of somebody's memory, I've never seen one look that close to the
Oh,
actual.
it was super close.
Yeah, he
maybe
looked
not
legit.
super close,
he
but
looked
it was
just like
close.
Peter Pan. He had a little.
We look like
hat.
Captain Hook.
Oh, never ceased to amaze me. He did look just like the
sketch.
The sketch though. It's awful.
Sick bastard. Guy had no rhyme or reason to who he killed. Like, you know how, like, Son of Sam killed long hair, brunettes, women around, whatever, certain age, and everybody has
Still
that
not
type.
great.
No, I'm not saying it's good, but this person was killing old, young, male, female.
Yeah,
like,
harder to track.
yeah, impossible to track. But, yeah. Do we have anything that we're going to end the show with?
Unless you got anything to plug.
No, we don't. I don't have any. I have nothing to talk about just yet. So I'm working on some guests. Hopefully they will be coming.
We got
but,
some guests coming up. We have some guests coming
He's
up.
been touching his feet in preparation this entire show.
Yeah.
That's a little inside joke. Some people will know what that means.
Oh man.
If you made it this far, click on our merch stuff. Buy some merch for yourselves. Rock it around. Give it out as gifts. It's great no matter what.
Definitely.
And
I agree.
review us on the iTunes app.
Have we gotten a review in the new year yet?
No.
No, we have not.
We need a first
Thanks,
review.
guys.
Thank you, everybody,
Thanks.
for the reviews.
Thanks for letting us.
And don't forget to download the stereo app so you can listen to our live show coming
Yeah,
up.
do that because I want to do that soon before Chris leaves.
Before we have to go back into quarantine.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much.
All right, take care.
Later.